Moscow, AP, the latest on Sunday at the World Cup, all times local, 8:55 p.m. From Napoleon's triumphal arch to hardscrabble suburbs of Paris, France is exploding with joy after its national soccer team won the World Cup. Crowds packed the lawn stretching out beneath the Eiffel Tower, frenetically waving French flags as police struggled to keep them squeezed in place. On the other side of the Seine River, more throngs poured onto streets around the Champs-Élysées and the Arc de Triomphe, where soldiers and military equipment paraded a day before on France's National Bastille Day holiday. Car honking rang out after France beat Croatia 4-2 in Moscow for its second-ever World Cup victory. Twitter posts showed ethnically diverse crowds decked in the French tricolour dancing and shouting in the Paris suburb of Bondy, hometown of 19-year-old World Cup breakout star Kylian Mbappé. Authorities deployed extra security forces to keep order around France, _____, 8:45 p.m. The highest-scoring World Cup final since 1966 lifted the 2018 tournament to within 2 goals of the record tally for a 32-team format. France's 4-2 win over Croatia increased the tournament tally to 169 goals, 2 fewer than the record 171 in the 2014 and 1998 editions. The average goals per game in Russia was 2.64. It was the most prolific final since England beat West Germany 4-2 after extra time in 1966. Goals finally returned to the World Cup final in regulation time. The 2 previous finals were 0-0 after 90 minutes before being settled with a single goal deep into extra time. ____8:35 p.m. Croatia midfielder Luka Modric has been awarded the Golden Ball after being voted as the best player at the World Cup. Modric, who scored 2 goals and was crucial to Croatia's 3 come-from-behind wins in the knockout stages, embraced Croatian President Kolinda Grabar-Kitarovic after being given the award in a rainy ceremony after his team lost the final 4-2 to France. England's Harry Kane won the Golden Boot for top scorer with 6 goals. Of those, 3 were penalties and 2 came shortly after corner kicks. France teenager Kylian Mbappé was voted Young Player of the tournament, while Belgium's Thibaut Courtois was named Best Goalkeeper. Belgium finished as the World Cup's highest-scoring team with 16 goals from 10 different players, ____8:33 p.m. The French players have received their winners' medals and danced in the rain with the World Cup after beating Croatia in the final in Moscow. The players, some with the national flag draped over their heads or shoulders and others with the tricolour wrapped around their waists, shook hands with Russian President Vladimir Putin, their own President Emmanuel Macron and Croatian leader Kolinda Grabar-Kitarovic during a heavy downpour at Luzhniki Stadium. The presidents of France and Croatia, who were saturated on the podium, pretended to grab the World Cup trophy from FIFA President Gianni Infantino before he handed it to the players. As soon as he did, the fireworks started. Golden glitter exploded all over the players, ____8:15 p.m. A leader accused of genocide by the International Criminal Court has been entertained at the World Cup final. Sudanese President Omar al-Bashir was among the heads of state in the luxury seating at the Luzhniki Stadium to see France play Croatia. Al-Bashir is accused by the ICC of genocide, crimes against humanity and war crimes in Darfur during fighting since 2003. World Soccer's governing body declined to comment on how al-Bashir's presence in a section with FIFA President Gianni Infantino complies with FIFA's human rights policy. Fatma Samoura joined FIFA as Secretary General in 2016 after serving as a UN official in Africa. The prosecutor of the International Criminal Court accused the UN Security Council last month of failing to take action against countries that didn't arrest al-Bashir. Russian President Vladimir Putin was also at the match in Moscow. ____8:10 p.m. Euphoria has given way to a mixture of disappointment and pride for Croatia fans after the national team lost to France in its first-ever World Cup final. The entry into the World Cup final in Russia has brought the country of 4 million people to a standstill as officials and the media described the event as the biggest in Croatia's sports history. Fans in the capital Zagreb crammed into squares and streets and were full of hope and cheering until the last moment. As the game ended 4-2, they couldn't hide sadness, but many said they were happy at what Croatia has achieved. Aleksandar Todorovic says, "Of course I am sad. I could see them lift the trophy, but this is really fantastic." _______8 p.m. France coach Didier Deschamps has been thrown into the air in a celebration by his players after becoming just the third person to win the World Cup as a player and as a coach. Deschamps was captain of the France squad that won the World Cup on home soil in 1998. With France's 4-2 win over Croatia in the final in Moscow, he joins Franz Beckenbauer, Germany, and Mario Zagallo, Brazil, in an elite trio that has won the title on the field and from the bench. _____7:54 p.m. France has clinched its second World Cup title with a 4-2 win over Croatia in a dramatic final in Moscow featuring a series of firsts and a pitch invasion orchestrated by Russian protest group Pussy Riot. France led 2-1 at halftime courtesy of the first own goal and the first video-reviewed penalty in a World Cup final. The own goal off the top of Mario Mandzukic's head was the 12th of the tournament. That's double the previous World Cup record of 6. Croatia rallied to equalize on a terrific left-foot strike by Ivan Perisic, but France took the lead right back when Perisic handled the ball in the area. Argentine referee Nestor Pitana initially didn't call the handball but awarded the spot kick after a video review. Antoine Griezmann converted the penalty to put France back in front. 4 pitch invaders disrupted the game in the 52nd minute for about a minute before being dragged away by security and police. Punk rock group Pussy Riot quickly claimed responsibility for the pitch invasion via social media, saying it was a protest aimed at ending illegal arrests of protesters and to allow political competition in Russia. Play resumed and France quickly took a 4-1 lead with goals from Paul Pogba and Kylian Mbappé in the 59th and 65th minutes before Mario Mandzukic pulled one back for the Croatians in the 69th. Croatia was playing in its first World Cup final. For France, it was a first World Cup crown since winning on home soil in 1998. _____7:29 p.m. France has a 4-2 lead over Croatia after 70 minutes of a World Cup final that has featured a series of firsts including an own goal and a penalty awarded after a video review, and a pitch invasion for which the Russian punk rock group Pussy Riot has claimed responsibility. France led 2-1 at halftime and extended the lead to 4-1 with goals from Paul Pogba and Kylian Mbappé in the 59th and 65th minutes before Mario Mandzukic pulled one back for the Croatians in the 69th. France is aiming for its second World Cup title. Croatia is playing in the World Cup final for the first time. _____7:22 p.m. Pussy Riot has claimed responsibility for the 4 pitch invaders who disrupted the World Cup final between France and Croatia in Moscow. Just after Croatia goalkeeper saved Kylian Mbappé in the 52nd minute, 4 people emerged from the other end of the field. One made it to the center circle. They were quickly tackled by security, and the match resumed after a delay of about 1 minute. The balaclava-clad women of Pussy Riot, a Russian punk rock group, rose to global prominence with their daring outdoor performances critical of Russian President Vladimir Putin in 2012 that sent 2 members to prison for nearly 2 years. The band says in a statement posted on their Twitter feed that the disruption was a protest. Before being hauled away, one woman managed to reach the center of the field and share a double high-five with France forward Kylian Mbappé, who had a shot saved a minute earlier. "Hello everyone from the Luzhniki field, it's great here," the group said on Twitter, and released a statement calling for the freeing of political prisoners, an end to illegal arrests of protesters and to allow political competition in Russia. ____7:18 p.m. Paul Pogba has given France a 3-1 lead over Croatia in the World Cup final with a goal in the 59th minute. Pogba made a lengthy diagonal, cross-field pass to Mbappe, who sped up the right flank. He dribbled around Strinic and crossed to Griezmann, who took 2 touches and cut the ball back to Pogba at the penalty arc. Pogba's initial shot was blocked by Lovren, and Pogba sent in the rebound for his first goal of the tournament. ____7:12 p.m. 4 people dressed in suits have invaded the pitch during the second half of the World Cup final. The 4, who seemed to be wearing peaked caps, approached players and one appeared to share a high-five with a France player. Stewards dragged the people off the field after a total disruption of almost a minute while France was leading 2-1, ____7 p.m. Records are falling like the rain coming down on the field after a wild first half of the World Cup final in Moscow. France has a 2-1 lead over Croatia courtesy of the first own goal and the first video-reviewed penalty in a World Cup final. The own goal off the top of Mario Mandzukic's head was the 12th of the tournament. That's double the previous World Cup record of 6. Croatia rallied to equalize on a terrific left-foot strike by Ivan Perisic, but France took the lead right back when Perisic handled the ball in the area. Argentine referee Nestor Pitana initially didn't call the handball but spoke into his headset with colleagues in the video booth, then made the box-shaped symbol for a video review. He awarded the spot kick shortly afterward, which Antoine Griezmann sent into the net to put France back in front. This is the first World Cup in which video review has been used, ____6:48 p.m. France leads Croatia 2-1 at halftime as it works toward its first World Cup title in 20 years. The first half ended with thunder rolling over Moscow after France regained the lead from an Antoine Griezmann penalty in the 38th minute following the first use of video review in a World Cup final. France had taken the lead in the 18th through Mario Mandzukic's own goal, the first in a World Cup final and a record 12th in the tournament, off a Griezmann free kick before Croatia's Ivan Perisic equalized with a fierce left-foot strike 10 minutes later. Perisic was also the player who conceded the penalty with a handball at a corner. It is already the highest-scoring World Cup final since France won its only previous title in 1998, beating Brazil 3-0. Croatia is playing in the World Cup final for the first time, ____6:38 p.m. Antoine Griezmann has given France a 2-1 lead over Croatia with a penalty after the first call made using a video review in a World Cup final. Griezmann hit the ball hard and left as Croatian goalkeeper Daniel Subasic jumped the other way in the 38th minute. The spot kick was given after the ball bounced off the arm of Croatia's Ivan Perisic at a corner before hitting his leg and going out of play. Perisic had scored for Croatia to level the game at 1-1 in the 28th minute. There was a break of about 90 seconds as referee Nestor Pitana discussed the call with his video assistants and reviewed the footage. ____6:28 p.m. Croatia has leveled the score in the World Cup final against France at 1-1 on a goal from Ivan Perisic in the 28th minute. Domagoj Vida got the ball at a free kick and passed it back to Perisic on the edge of the area. The winger controlled the ball with his right foot and used his left to fire it past French goalkeeper Hugo Lloris. It's the third goal in 7 games for Perisic and the first goal France has conceded since its 4-3 win over Argentina in the round of 16. Croatia has now had equalize in 4 straight games after conceding the opening goal. All 3 preceding games went to extra time, ____6:18 p.m. France has scored with the first real chance of the World Cup final as Mario Mandzukic headed a free kick into his own net. Antoine Griezmann swung the free kick into a mass of French and Croatian players and Mandzukic diverted the ball into the net, just past goalkeeper Daniel Subasic's outstretched hand in the 18th minute. It was the 12th own goal of the World Cup, an all-time record, and the first ever in a World Cup final. It was the first goal in regulation in a World Cup final since 2006. The 2010 and 2014 finals were both extra time 1-0 results. ____6:05 p.m. French fans have packed the Paris fan zone, which holds 90,000, near the Eiffel Tower to watch the World Cup final between France and Croatia. Oreo Hamra from the Paris region says, "Yes, I have faith. They're hungry, and 20 years on, it would be beautiful if they won the cup." Les Bleus' last World Cup victory was in 1998. It was an occasion for all ages to dress up for France, some wrapped in French flags, others painting their faces or donning elaborate headgear in the blue, white and red national colors. Security forces are on the ready throughout France, which celebrated Bastille Day on Saturday, with 110,000 police on duty. ___6 p.m. Croatia's Mario Mandzukic has taken the kickoff for his team in the World Cup final against France. As their national anthem rang out around the Luzhniki Stadium, Croatian fans unfurled a banner reading, "One heart, one strength, my country Croatia." Both teams were unchanged from the lineups that won their semi-final games. France beat Belgium 1-0, and Croatia beat England 2-1 in extra time. Croatia is playing its first World Cup final. France won its only World Cup title when it hosted the tournament in 1998. ____5:54 p.m. The French and Croatian teams are on the field for their World Cup final. The teams emerged from the dressing rooms to stand behind the World Cup trophy, with captains Hugo Lloris and Luka Modric in the lead. Philipp Lahm, Germany's winning captain in 2014, earlier brought out the World Cup trophy with Russian model Natalia Vodianova. Lahm picked up the cup and held it for cheering crowds. France is aiming to win its second World Cup and first since 1998. Croatia has never before gone past the semi-final stage. ____5:50 p.m. Croatia's president says no matter what happens in the World Cup final, the unexpected success of her small country's hard-working, underdog team means that we are a winner. In an interview with the Associated Press, Croatian President Kolinda Grabar-Kitarovic says she wants her once-warring region to come together to support Croatia in the final and Serbian tennis player Novak Djokovic in the Wimbledon final. She says, "Sports brings people together. People in all of our countries are tired of ideological differences, of going back into the past all the time." Ahead of Sunday's final against France in Moscow, she predicts a Croatian victory but says, "Whatever happens, we are a winner." She has used the victory to raise her country's profile, posing in a red and white checkered team jersey at every opportunity, and giving one to U.S. President Donald Trump. ____5:35 p.m. The closing ceremony for the World Cup has started. The actor and singer Will Smith is among those performing in the brief show before France plays Croatia in the final. Dozens of people bearing video screens showing moments from the tournament are interspersed among performers dancing in glittery costumes. ____5:30 p.m. President Emmanuel Macron of France has been joined by one of his predecessors, Nicolas Sarkozy, as guests of FIFA to see their national team play Croatia in the World Cup final. The president of Croatia, Kolinda Grabar-Kitarovic, is also among 10 heads of state and national leaders at Luzhniki Stadium. They have joined Russian President Vladimir Putin, and the presidents of Belarus, Moldova, Gabon and Sudan. Some Western European governments stayed away from the World Cup amid the fallout from the poisoning of a former Russian spy and his daughter, in England in March. The Emir of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, is also here. Qatar hosts the next World Cup in 2022, and the Emir attended a handover ceremony at the Kremlin with Putin and FIFA President Gianni Infantino earlier Sunday. ____5:15 p.m. There was new signage inside Luzhniki Stadium for the championship between Croatia and France. For the previous 6 matches, the front of the second and third decks had bright blue backgrounds with 2018 FIFA World Cup Russia in white in English and Russian, alternating with red backgrounds with Moscow and #World Cup in white. For the final, there were gold backgrounds with FINAL 2018 in navy blue, alternating with navy blue backgrounds with Moscow, FIFA World Cup in English and Russian and #World Cup on navy backdrops with gold lettering. ______5:07 p.m. France and Croatia are on the field at Luzhniki Stadium to warm up for World Cup final with under an hour to go before kickoff. France's goalkeeper Hugo Lloris emerged first to cheers from supporters along with his team's 2 reserve keepers. French fans waved the tricolour as the rest of the team came out, with defender Lucas Hernandez waving to the stands. Croatian fans gave captain Luka Modric and his teammates a similar greeting minutes later. France is aiming to win its second World Cup and first since 1998, while Croatia has never before gone past the semi-final stage. _____5 p.m. Russian President Vladimir Putin will help present the trophy to the winning captain after the World Cup final. FIFA President Gianni Infantino will join Putin for the ceremony on the field at Luzhniki Stadium. The recent World Cup tradition is for presidents of FIFA and the host nation to jointly hand over the Golden Malachite Trophy. 4 years ago, then FIFA leader Sepp Blatter and Brazil's then President Dilma Rousseff presented the trophy to Germany captain Philipp Lahm. Lahm is bringing the trophy onto the field before France and Croatia kick off at 6 p.m. Local time, 1500 GMT, 11 a.m. EDT, in Moscow, _____4:50 p.m. France and Croatia will take unchanged lineups into the World Cup final. France coach Didier Deschamps has retained the starting 11 which beat Belgium 1-0 in the semi-finals after Blaise Matuidi returned from a suspension in the quarter-finals. Zlatko Dalic has stuck with Marcelo Brozovic in midfield after he came into the lineup for Croatia's 2-1 extra-time semi-final win over England. That means forward Andrej Kramaric remains on the bench. Lineups: France, Hugo Lloris, Benjamin Pavard, Raphael Varane, Samuel Umtiti, Paul Pogba, Antoine Griezmann, Olivier Giroud, Kylian Mbappé, N'Golo Kanté, Blaise Matuidi, Lucas Hernandez. Croatia lineup: Daniel Subasic, Sime Vrsaljko, Ivan Strinic, Ivan Perisic, Dejan Lovren, Ivan Rakitic, Luka Modric, Marcelo Brozovic, Mario Mandzukic, Ante Rebic, Domagoj Vida. _____4:45 p.m. Braving rainy weather, Croatian fans are gathering in squares and streets around the country ahead of the World Cup final with France. Wearing Croatian team jerseys and waving flags, fans have filled up the central square in the capital Zagreb some 2 hours before the game kicks off in Russia. Fans have wrapped the square's monument in national red and white colors. Croatian media and officials have described the team's run to the World Cup final as the country's most important sports event ever. Prime Minister Andrej Plenković says, "All this has been a wonderful experience, we should all be happy to be part of it." _____4:30 p.m. Thousands of fans have filled the historic Grand Place in Brussels to welcome home the Belgium team after its third-place finish in the World Cup. The Belgian players returned immediately after their 2-0 win over England in the third-place playoff and were first received by King Philippe at the Royal Palace on Sunday before they were taken in an open bus through the sun-splashed centre of Brussels where thousands more stood along the way. The Grand Place only holds 8,000 and was full several hours before the players appeared on the balcony of the Gothic City Hall to another rapturous round of applause and cheers. _____4:15 p.m. Croatia has arrived for the World Cup final. The Croats, who will be playing for the title for the first time, arrived at the Luzhniki Stadium a few minutes after the French squad. Luka Modric, the midfielder who is the driving force in the Croatia team, was one of the first to enter the dressing room. Croatia's best showing before this year was when it reached the semi-finals in 1998. But the team lost to host France in that game 20 years ago, and the French team went on to win its only World Cup title, ____4:10 p.m. The France team has arrived at the Luzhniki Stadium for the World Cup final against Croatia. The team, escorted by 5 police motorcycles, arrived in a bus with a French flag adorned to the windows on either side of the vehicle. France coach Didier Deschamps was one of the first off the bus, followed by his players wearing blue training outfits. France is playing for its second World Cup title after winning at home in 1998. Croatia is looking for its first, _____3:55 p.m. The World Cup trophy has arrived at the Luzhniki Stadium. France and Croatia will play for soccer's most important title on Sunday, with the winning captain the first to hoist the gold statuette over his head. According to a video posted by FIFA, the trophy was driven to the stadium and arrived packed in a hard case. _____3:40 p.m. The Croatian president has called on Russians to support Croatia in the World Cup final. A video message recorded on a plane and posted to Facebook, Kolinda Grabar Kitarovic says in Russian, "You are great hosts. Support Croatia today. Let's be happy together." Dressed in Croatian red and white, she then leads a chant of Croatia, Croatia, Croatia. Croatia's political and football leaders have tried to smooth over relations with Russia after their team knocked the host nation out in the quarter-finals. After that game, some Russian social media users were angered when Croatia defender Domagoj Vida praised neighboring Ukraine in a video posted online. Vida has apologized for any offense, saying he meant to pay tribute to friends in Ukraine and not to comment on the political tension between Ukraine and Russia. Grabar Kitarovic met with Russian President Vladimir Putin at the Kremlin and praised the country's hosting of the World Cup. Grabar Kitarovic says, "This championship really has been an example for everybody. You not only ensured the fans' free movement, but you prevented any kind of incident, prevented any kind of expressions that could be characterized as showing hatred, _____3:15 p.m. The area around Moscow's Luzhniki Stadium is filling up with fans, with less than 3 hours before the World Cup final kicks off. Croatia fans appear to have the French outnumbered as their country plays in its first final. France is aiming to win the trophy for the second time after a 20-year wait. Some Croatia fans have turned up wearing water polo caps in national colors, something which became a national trend when defender Vedran Chorluka wore one following a head injury at the 2016 European Championship. There are fans from all over the world at the stadium, with the flags of China, Ecuador, Germany, Morocco and England all on display, _____3 p.m. Russian President Vladimir Putin has formally passed the torch to Qatar for the World Cup in 2022. Ahead of the final in Moscow between France and Croatia, Putin has met at the Kremlin with Qatar's Emir Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani and FIFA President Gianni Infantino. Putin says Russia's World Cup has been a success and, "I am sure that our friend from Qatar will succeed at holding the FIFA 2022 World Cup at the same highest level." Putin ceremonially handed a football to the Emir to mark the transfer to Qatar, which will be the first Arab country to host the tournament. The Emir says through a translator that the World Cup will be a huge and great festival for all our country, _____2 p.m. France or Croatia, one of those two teams will become World Cup champion later Sunday. The French, who won their only World Cup title at home in 1998, will be playing in their third final in 20 years. The Croats have the chance to win the biggest prize in soccer for the first time. The match at the Luzhniki Stadium in Moscow caps a month-long tournament that started with 32 teams playing in 12 stadiums around Russia, _____. More AP World Cup coverage, https://appnews.com/tag/World Cup.